Hello, my name is Gemma Taylor. I'm the Technology Teacher CPD Lead at the National Science Learning Centre, and thanks for joining me on this short video describing a little bit about how you can use sensing blocks in Scratch. So we're going to be using the online version of Scratch today. Looking at these sensing blocks, there's lots of different blocks to choose from and they're really powerful, and we're just going to go through a couple of basics today. We're going to be using the touching with a drop down function, so we've got mouse pointer and edge on there, and we're going to be using touching colour, and we're going to be using distance to today. There's lots of others you can choose from, but these are the ones we're going through. So I'm going to start with the touching. Now, you need to combine this with other blocks for it to have any power. And the first block we're going to choose is in the control section. We're going to go for an if. And we're going to, you see the shapes match up. If I pop that into it, we have if the sprite is touching the mouse pointer, then it's going to do something. And what we're going to make it do is, just to check it's working, say hello. Change that to 1 second. So, if that cat is touching the mouse pointer, then we'll say hello. So I'm going to start there with a flag, but it's not working. So the thing you need to do is we need to go to control. And it's not a matter of having it for 1 second, we need to have that a forever action. So we're going to connect that forever up, and now when we press the green flag, if the mouse pointer touches the sprite, it doesn't have to click it, if it touches it, it starts that hello. So in this box you can put lots of different functions. It might be that we want to make it hide, disappears, it might be that you want it to think, it might be that you want it to change the backdrop when you roll over the sprite. There are lots of different things you can choose from. Well, let's keep going with this sensing. So what we're going to try now is we're going to try and have an action when we sense a colour. So I'm going to let's bring my sprite back. What we're going to do is we're going to change the backdrop. I'm going to change the backdrop so it's got a block of colour at the side. Okay, so I'm not putting code on the backdrop. What I'm going to do is go back to the sprite again. We're going to use that same forever if setup, but this time, instead of having mouse pointer or edge, we're going to take away that, go back to sensing, and we're going to sense touching a colour. So if I click on that colour, and I click on my backdrop, you can see that the colour's changed. It picks up every colour that we're passing. So we're going to go with red. And what we're going to do is, if it touches that red, we'll just make it say ouch. But we need to make it move first. So to make it move, I'm going to use a really quick function. What we're going to do is stop that program, and we're going to, when that's clicked, we're going to point towards the mouse pointer, and we're going to move, let's move 5 steps. Now remember, we need this to happen more than just once, so we're going to put a forever loop in. So if I press the flag, now I've got my cat moving, I'm going to move into the red. It says ouch straight away, and that's as soon as the sprite touches that red. So that's how we can use sensing for the sprite to detect what it's touching and what it's near. So let's have a look at how that's been used. If we go to my blog, go to the menu, go to Science and Scratch, I've created a program in here which does a very similar thing. It used to be called a rollover. So what we're doing now is when you roll your mouse over, which is as soon as the pointer is touching the sprites say a message. So you've created a bit of an animation, a bit of a tableau. If we go inside and have a look, it's exactly the same code, really quick to use. I've added a bit of animation there just to make it a bit more complex, but it's the same code up here that we used before. I'll get rid of that, go back to the editor. So let's have a look at these operators, because these are really useful. Now what we're going to take out is we're going to take out this one, which is less than. I'm going to go to an if again, and we're going to go to sensing, and this time we're going to look at distance. So what we're going to say is if, just snaps in there, if the distance to the mouse pointer is less than say 100. Then I'm going to make it hide. We're going to do that forever. And I'm going to do it as soon as I click the flag. So let's try that again. Disappears as soon as I get close. Have a quick show just to make it appear. Connect to the program and run that again. Disappears. So here we've used the greater than and the less than to say that when the distance is less than 100, it will disappear straight away. So you can start to use this to create proximity programs when something is getting close to something. It might be that you're getting close to a sprite, it might be you're getting close to a colour. In this case it was getting close to the mouse cursor. So if we want to check against another sprite, let's put a beetle on the page. So now we've got two sprites here. We've got our cat and our beetle. What we can do here is we can say if the distance to the beetle is less than 100, then the cat will disappear. So if we run this program, as soon as I put the beetle near the cat, it disappears. Okay, so there's 4 or 5 things for you to try with sensing. Lots more things to do. It's a really powerful program for sensing, but just a few things to get you started. Thanks for watching. If I can offer you any help, then go to the blog or tweet me on Twitter and let me know how you're going.